Hey guys, a very good evening to all of you. So I know at this point of time, there is a dilemma, there is a doubt in every B school aspirant's mind. And the question is, can I start my CAT preparation now? So I know the fear of this exam is grasping you all. And the question is genuine because CAT is one of the toughest exam of India. And to get into your dream B school, you need to crack this exam. So now that we know that the tentative date of exam is 27th of November, asking this question to yourself is completely understandable, completely genuine. So we thought of coming live and seeing the ways how we can still ace or still pace up our preparation of this exam. Today we will see how you can make a study plan or how you can decide what are your weaker areas, what are your strong areas, what are the things you still need to work on. So without any further delay, let's start with today's live. Let's see how you can pace up your preparation of CAT exam. So first of all of us know that to get into the IIMs, that is Indian Institute of Management, and numerous other B schools, you need to crack this one exam, that is CAT. And this is the biggest fish in the sea of management entrance exam. So there are many other entrance exams for management courses also. But this is the one exam that every student at least dreams of once in his or her life, right? So if we look at the pattern of the exam, we know that from the last year's paper, we know that there were total 66 questions in this exam and there are 3 sections in this exam. So the first one is VARC, that is verbal ability and reading comprehension. So there were 24 questions from this particular section last year. From DILR, that is data interpretation and logical reasoning, there were 20 questions, and from quant there were around 22 questions. So that makes a total of 66. So you have a +3 for every right answer and -1 for every wrong answer. So this is one such exam in which you have to think very wisely and you have to select very wisely. The choices of the question should be taken in a very smart way. So according to this, you need to plan how you can attempt this exam. Right. So other thing we know about this exam is the exam was of 2 hours. You had 40 minutes each allotted to each section. Now you know that quant is one such section that needs a little more time compared to the other 2 sections because you have to do the calculations also. But do not underestimate the VARC section also because it has its own problems, it has its own challenges. Because verbal ability and reading comprehension is one such section in which you have to, you tend to get confused. The answers can be subjective. We may have different ideas at same point of time and 2 to 3 or maybe all the 4 options seems equally correct. So that can also be time wasting for you. So you have to, chuck out some way. You have to think of your strong points. You have to see your weaknesses. And eventually you have to make a strategy or a study plan to crack this exam. Moving on. Let's roughly take an idea that we have 4 months left. So what should be our strategy? So according to me, in the first month, you should work on your fundamentals. So the basics are something that need your attention in the very first month because jumping directly to the question or mock test, it's unnecessarily gonna, dishearten you or maybe it will lower your morale because before knowing the basics or before making the fundamentals strong, maybe you'll not be able to attempt the exam that good. So initially, you should start with the fundamentals. In the second month, you should start taking sectional and full length test just to get an idea that how well are you understanding things. The things that you've been learning, are you able to apply it and score good? Right? In the third month, you should work on your weak areas. Now that you've given your mock tests, you know what are your weaker areas. You can sit and analyze your paper. You can write down, you can jot down the points that need more attention. You know your weak areas now. And in the final month, you should rework on your exam strategy. Let's elaborate these 4 months and see it. In the first month, what all you can do is, The first thing is you need to brush up your knowledge. So because there is not too much of time left now, you need to be very quick. These initial days, they require a lot many hours of hard work from your side. So remember two things that are going to help you. This particular exam needs a great deal of discipline and tenacity. So you have to be very particular, you have to be very disciplined while preparing for it. So initially, brush up your knowledge, look at the syllabus of all three sections, go to the website of CAT exam, go to the website and see the syllabus of CAT exam. Write down the areas and the sub areas of each section. See what are the sections that you are already familiar with and what are the sections that need your attention. Accordingly, try to go into only that much of depth which is necessary according to the section, according to your personal ability. The second point is dig deep into important chapters. Now, obviously, because the syllabus of CAT exam is so vast, each and every section have particular areas which carry more weightage and which are more important comparatively. So because there is negative marking in this exam, students do even leave some questions, and it is absolutely necessary because in this exam you are not judged on your percentage but on your percentile, right? So accuracy is something that you need to attain eventually. So for example, in VARC section, in verbal ability and reading comprehension, 16 questions were just from RC. And what we do, we generally neglect the reading comprehension section. We believe we'll see it on the day, we just have to see the passage and answer some questions. But trust me, the examiner is not that lame. He's not going to give you so easy questions. He is going to eventually test your logical and your deductive powers. He's going to see how well you apply your reasoning while answering the questions. So the next point is make notes or formulas of shortcuts. At this point of time, when you are doing rigorous study, you are going deep into the subject, into the important areas. At this point of time, to reduce your hard work in the last month or the last 2 months, what you can do is jot down the important areas. You can make short notes, you can make your own flashcards if you want to, so that in future when you are revisiting the things, when you are revising the things, you just have to see the notes that you have made yourself, and trust me, it's gonna lessen your burden eventually. And the next point is familiarize yourself with the sections, topics and types of question of CAT exam. So at this point of time, you need to be a little soft with yourself. Do not directly go into attempting the mock test and be disheartened that, oh my God, I am not able to score anywhere near the percentage or the percentile that is required. So be a little soft with yourself, give yourself the liberty to test and to see all the section, to understand each and every area, to familiarize yourself with this exam. And the last point is kick up a regular reading routine. So what I have generally seen is students are more into practicing their mathematical questions and their DI section more, and they completely ignore the verbal ability and reading comprehension section, because this is something we believe that, okay, we never know what kind of RC is going to come. There are n number of areas an RC can be from, and we tend to ignore it. But trust me, we all come from different areas with different subject backgrounds, and it is very important that we diversify our reading from the very beginning and familiarize ourselves with the particular jargon of each area, because it is, trust me, going to help you in the exam. It will eventually reduce your burden in the exam. So start reading. You can give at least half an hour or 1 hour according to your capacity, whatever you feel is fit for you. Right. Right. Okay. I can see people are writing in the chat box that I am not audible. Am I still not audible, guys? Let us see if there is some technical issue. Would you please write in the chat box if I am still not audible? All right. Thank you so much, Akshita, for replying. Thank you so much for the acknowledgement. Right, so let's see the second month strategy in detail now, taking sectional as well as full length test. So what you need to do is you need to check your hold on all three sections and make a study plan accordingly. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, right? So for someone, I believe the work section would be easier one. For the person from a non-medical background or maybe from a BTech background, maths would be a piece of cake for him, right? So we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. Accordingly, what you can do is check your individual knowledge and individual hold on each and every section, and according to it, make the study plan that how much time daily are you going to devote to each and every section. Next point is, don't worry about scores or compare it with others scores at this point of time. And this is a very important point. What we usually do, we compare our marks with our friends' marks or a person who's preparing with us. We all have different capability and we all start from a different level, right? We've all been from different backgrounds. So be a little soft with yourself, be confident in your capabilities. See, I am not just, trying to say that each and every one of you will surely be able to crack this exam. This exam definitely needs hard work on your side, right? But this is not a rocket science. I've known a student who scored 100 percentile with just 3 months of preparation. So ask yourself, why not? I know this can be an exceptional case, but trust me, there are a lot many number of students I've seen who've cracked this exam with 3, 4 or 5 months of preparation. So you can do it too. You just need to believe in yourself and just need to believe in your power. And first of all, you have to stop procrastinating the negative things or the negative effects that maybe I'll not be able to score good eventually. Just forget about the doom day, forget about the D day, start preparing, right? Make objective aims initially and then eventually make a bigger aim. So first of all, you need to make a study plan. You need to see what section needs more time. You need to see what particular area in each section need more of your attention, right? Okay, so this is a table I've prepared. This is from the second point, which I told you that you can make a study plan. So after attempting the mock test, sectional as well as full length test, now you know that there are certain questions that you've made mistake in. So mistakes can be on different bases. You need to ask yourself, if you are not able to attempt a question correctly, ask yourself whether were you familiar with the area of that question, or were you not even able to understand or make out that from which area was this question given, right? It is very important, because if this is the case, it is going to be problematic. The second question that you need to ask yourself is, you were not able to attempt that particular question because of a silly mistake or because of lack of attention. This also is going to be problematic for you. So basically, you need to sit down and see and analyze your paper thoroughly. What all questions were, from such areas that you find are a little bit difficult, relatively more difficult than the other areas, and give more attention to those areas. So what you can do is, now suppose you've attempted the quant sectional exam, right? So I've wrote some topics or areas. Accordingly, you can also divide your syllabus into areas that you are able to make out from the paper. Now suppose a person is good in number system, you can tick it and you can put a tick before it. You can make a table, make a study plan and put a tick before number system. Suppose you are not so good with profit and loss. What you can do is put a star in front of it, and the star should remain as it is until when you feel that yes, now I am able to attempt the questions of this section also equally good as I am doing in other subjects, right? Okay, so similarly, what you can do is, in this table you can put the number of hours or days. This table can be used for a day-to-day basis also, or for a month strategy also. You can mold it accordingly. Divide your time, see how many days are left, see within how many days you want to finish the syllabus. Accordingly, you can distribute the days. Suppose you can give 5 days to averages and percentages. Thoroughly and rigorously practice the questions based on averages and percentages. Right. So maybe you believe that you are not so good with geometry and mensuration. You can devote 7 to 8 days to it. Now, this table, I have left this column empty because this is something you have to decide. This is subjective. You can put the days according to your capacity. You know your weaknesses well, right? Better than me. So put the days, put the stars, or put the question mark if there is a particular area about which you are confused. Ask your mentors, reach out to your seniors for this. Try to understand and try to clarify each and every area. So as is for quant section, similarly, I've made table for the DI session also, data interpretation and logical reasoning. Write down the topics, write down the subtopics, put the stars, circles, question mark or text accordingly. And this drill is just to familiarize you, just for your understanding that what all area need your attention, right? Similarly, I've made a table for VA RC also. Now we know that RCs, we had 16 questions from RC. 16 questions from RC alone. So it is clear that this one particular area needs a lot of your attention. Though this is completely vague because we are never sure what kind of RC is going to come in the exam. So you need to think hard what should be your strategy for this particular area. That is the reason I told you, start reading. You can start with something that you feel is, with which you are comfortable, the thing that comforts you or maybe seems interesting to you, and eventually gradually move to the difficult areas, eventually move to the editorials of the newspaper. Or you can even go and look for the previous year paper. There are n number of books and material which give you samples of RC. We also have our own book on RC which is soon gonna come, and I believe it's going to help you a lot. So you have to make a plan. How will you ace your RC preparation, your grammar? Now there is no as such question from grammar directly, but the question that the examiner is going to set, it will definitely test your grammatical ability also, your grammatical knowledge also. So a base of grammar is also important. Quickly brush up through a good grammar, a good quality grammar. Do not go too deep into it and waste all of your time just doing grammar. It is more important that you learn words, you learn jargon, because this is something that is going to help you in RCs. Practice parajumble and parasummary. Critical reasoning, misfit and parajumble, these are three areas that definitely need your practice from your side. The more you practice them, the more you will develop the ability. You'll eventually understand, okay, this is the way I have to attempt it, and relatively you are going to take less time in solving these questions. So leaving out any section or any area is not an option, guys. You, at least from your side, prepare all the sections well. Okay, so moving on. Third month strategy should be find and work on your weak areas. Now that you've given your sectional test, your full length test, you know it better what areas need your more attention. So analyze each mock test thoroughly. Do not just give the mock test and forget it, right? You need to analyze it. Sit and analyze it 2-3 times. Make stars before the question that you found difficult in exam and try to understand why did that particular area pose difficulty for you. You should challenge yourself. You should go on to improve that particular area. Next is work on your accuracy level. Find out the problematic areas. Now, this exam, this is not based on how many questions you know. The exam is based on your accuracy. So you need to work on your accuracy. How quickly are you able to attempt the question and how correctly are you attempting them? Do not go into attempting all the question and lose your marks in negative marking. Be very smart to make your choice. Which all question need to be solved by you. The third point is improvise your score in each mock. So initially, be liberal with yourself, be soft with yourself, even if you are not able to score that good. But make sure that with every successive exam, you are improving. Improvise your scores, improvise how well are you performing in that particular area in which in the last exam you were not able to do that well. right? So improvisation is very important. So 4th month is rework on your exam strategy. So in the 4th month, do not go into studying something new that you are not familiar with. At this point of time, you need to be calm and you need to be composed and calm, right? You need to, at this point of time, work on your strategies. You know your weak areas, you worked on your weak areas, you've given n number of mock tests. At this point of time, you need to continue giving the mock test, looking at the previous year papers and working on your own strategy, the strategy that you are going to apply on that day, on the D day, and how well are you going to perform on that day. So this should be the strategy of your last month, be it the 3rd month, be it the 4th month. Just stay calm and composed and work towards it. So this was all about it. So you need to plan how many days are left for you, within how many days you need to finish the syllabus. So I know there are a lot many students who would say that, okay, I just have 3 months left and I have to prepare according to the 3 months, so that in the last month I am revising things well and remembering things well. You need to revisit your notes also, the things that need more of your attention. So that was all for exam strategy, and trust me, you can crack this exam with right and the great deal of discipline that you show. So at the end, I would like to quote this, I would like to show this quotation by Earl Nightingale. All you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. This aptly suffices my whole slide, my whole life, today's life. It is that first of all, you need to make a plan, because if you do not have a plan and you are aimlessly going on attempting mocks and studying whatever thing comes before you, you would eventually feel, okay, what am I doing? I am just juggling, from one section to the other and not able to ace even any one of it. So it's very important that you give equal time to all 3 sections. All 3 sections have their own weightages. They need your equal time. So make a plan, make a roadmap. That is, how are you going to reach up to that destination? Eventually, you're going to reach it. So that was all for today. This is Sheetal, your verbal teacher from Hitbullseye, signing off for today. Thank you.